You know what's going on? It's a visit of midday, and it's a day after the Giants have sent a message to the league. The New York Football Giants have arrived. And if you fucking think you're walking into our house and taking advantage of a young team where you look at that doesn't have as much talent as you think, let me tell you something, brothers. You better think again. Because there's one football on the field, and the entire Giants team is flocking after it. I'm excited. And I'll say it. I'll be the first to admit I didn't think the Giants were going to win yesterday. Hey, I call it as it is. I'm not a homer. But yo, a heart bleeds blue. The New York Football Giants are 4-1 and nobody can take it away. And nobody can sit here and say the Giants haven't beaten a real fucking football team. No more of that bullshit. Oh, you're lucky. Oh, you guys are barely getting by on bad teams. Oh, your schedule favors you because you're playing teams that are in your box. No, bullshit. Because the darling of the NFL and all the TV channels and all the media, Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers, right? Second quarter looked like they were going to smoke the Giants. But the New York Football Giants has one beast of a coaching staff. And the Giants don't play to the fantasy bullshit. And they may lack in talent. But sometimes hustle, guts, and heart wins you football games. And you know what this fucking Giants team is doing? That a lot of teams in the league don't do? The Giants don't care about the pretty points. The Giants don't care about the finesse-styled offense or fantasy. The Giants are playing football. The Giants are playing old-school football. And that's why the Giants are winning. The New York Giants are 4-1. And a lot of the league don't like it. Hey, so come fucking do something about it, brother. Come on in. Because the Green Bay Packers, yes, they learned a lesson. This football Giants defense stymied Aaron Rodgers. 4 sick receivers, Aaron Jones, Rodgers, a beast of an offense, solid O-line. Giants ain't got a chance. Hey, I admit it. I didn't think the Giants could win either yesterday. But damn, am I happy to be wrong. Yo. The Giants locked the Packers down to 0 in the second half, as we've done to a lot of teams this year. The Giants have one of the best defenses in football and maybe the best football defense in the second half of every game this year. And it's because you got a hell of a head coaching staff here. We got a beast of a coaching staff that makes adjustments. Adabo is all in. He's always making adjustments as the game goes on. Emotionally, he's so invested and the players love him. And Wink, we all know what Wink Martindale is. This guy's a defensive coordinator on another level. And he shows it week in and week out. Aggressive, blitzing. Yo, the Giants had 0 cornerbacks yesterday. We lost the Dory in the game. We didn't have Robinson. So your 2 starting corners are gone. And they still shut Aaron Rodgers and that flying passing attack to a goose egg in the second half. And nothing felt better than when Rodgers got blocked twice on the last 2 plays of the game on the goal line. Okay? Dexter Lawrence is one of the best tackles in the NFL. Defensive tackle, beast, a savage. He continues to disrupt game after game after game. And that's without Leo. And we're about to get Leo back next week. You're going to add Landon Collins to Jalen Smith on that linebacking core with Crowder. This front seven's looking like an animal. And come on in, Baltimore Ravens, because the Giants ain't scared. This Giants team ain't phased. This defense don't know better. We're young and we think we're the best in the NFL. Come tell us we're not. The Packers had 0. We set off fights in that locker room in Green Bay yesterday. And Aaron Rodgers, his face showed it all. As he stood there stunned that he lost to a baby Giants team with fucking street wide receivers. Okay? Alright? Johnson, James, the only receiver we had that we could say is close to real was Slayton, and that man balled out, and I've been calling for Slayton Pat and I have been calling for Slayton for 2 years. Put the man on the field. Stop judging him for one pass that he dropped and let this guy play a full game. Throw him the football because he's our best route runner and he gets open downfield. And yesterday, Slayton helped. He was a monster piece to this offense in the second half. We all know what Barkley is. Let's just say it. Let's say it. Outside of quarterbacks, Barkley's the MVP of the NFL. And this is what you get when Barkley's healthy. And the scary thing is this O-line is starting to gel. I seen a feisty, nasty O-line in the second half yesterday. They imposed themselves on the Packer defense, which, by the way, was ranked 6th going into the game. So I don't want to hear no bullshit about defense ain't so. Don't tell me shit. The Packers are among the top of the league in defense, and the Giants fucking rolled right over them. And Daniel Jones. My man Daniel Jones takes so much shit, and I hope he hears it all, because I want him to keep playing. People are dogging him, and he's using it as fuel. He makes smart decisions. He'll run over linebackers. One ankle, he said, fuck this. I'm going to run all over this Packer team. They're giving me the middle. One ankle or no ankle. And you say he can't pass? This man's making smart decisions. This guy is delivering accurate lasers over the middle. This guy can run. This guy can throw, and he's best when you move him outside the hash marks, and the past coaches never knew that. Because you got a beast coach who has unlocked Jones and this Giants team, and he's breathing confidence into this young team. Yo, I can't lie. Yo, Lou, maybe you were right. Maybe I'm the dumb one. 11-6, it's not looking too far-fetched right now. Yo, I don't know where we're going to go at the end of the year, but right now we're 4-1. We're 4-1 and we're among the top of the league. And we're doing it old school style. Defense, pounding the rock with the rushing game, and one of the better special teams in football. And those are old school aspects to winning football. And hey, guess what? What do you know, young guys? Old school still wins football games, motherfuckers. The fucking Giants will pound you with the rock, play defense, and we got a sick kicking game between our field goal kicker and this punter. And the refs still tried to get Packers the game at the end of the game. They still gave them 15 seconds that didn't belong on that clock. Let's help Aaron Rodgers, just like they fucking helped Tom Brady with that bullshit penalty on the most beautiful sack I've ever seen. They stole the game from Atlanta. You want to help your big-name quarterbacks. The ratings. Yo, fuck the ratings. Let the team that plays with the most guts, the most heart, the guys who pour their blood on the field like Daniel Jones and Barkley, let them win the games. You know why? Because they didn't ask for help to win the games. They're willing to fight the dog fight and stand up at the end of the game. They got the guts and the heart to win the game. And Aaron Rodgers and Brady, although they're legends, they ain't showing those guts right now. All they're showing is, wah, he touched me. That's a fucking flag. Stop crying, you bitches. Your days are over. It's time for the young ones to take over this league. Yo, I'm proud of this team, man. This is the most guts and heart this Giants team has shown in a decade. And you're about to get Leo back. And you're about to get Landon Collins at linebacker. Jalen Smith is an animal. What a pickup that was. If we could just get a couple of these receivers on the field. Robinson's expected to play this next week. Tony, we need you to get on this field. So do what you got to do to rub those hamstrings. Even if we could get you in and out part-time in a game, you count. You open up the game. Because imagine a Barkley, Jones, and a Tony. 3 guys that can run the ball in the backfield. You will not know who to defend. I'm looking forward to this game. I want to play the big teams in the league because I want the test. We played with Dallas. They're better right now, but we played with them. It made us better as the season went on. We abused the Packers in the second half. There was no luck about it. We straight took it right down their fucking throat. And don't sit here telling me the Packers are not one of the better teams in the league. I don't want to hear it. Because at the end of the year, the Packers will still be there. You know, the New York Giants are coming of age. And the maturation of Daniel Jones is right in front of our eyes. I don't know where we're going next year, and I don't even want to talk about the draft. I don't give a shit about the draft. The draft is for losers like the Lions and the Panthers. And the Panthers are so bad, they just fired their fucking coach in week 5. That's for the losers. The Giants ain't a loser no more. The Giants are 4-1. We got a tough game with the Ravens. We'll have a good football game with the Jaguars. And then the schedule gets soft. All right? Seattle, Lions, Texans, Washington twice. Yo. And I'm damn looking forward to play the Eagles in the second half of the year. You better fucking best believe it. This team don't know better. They ain't scared of shit. And this guy Wink is a savage of a defensive coach. And all his players have taken on his personality. And Dabble ain't playing no games. When Dabble walks off the field pumping his fist and screaming, that's exactly what represents what the Giants are right now. You better bring it, Ravens. You better come for a fucking war, because next week at 1 o'clock, it's going to be a war in the Meadowlands. The stadium's going to be loaded, and this defense is going to be fucking fired up, loaded up on fuel. Okay? And Lamar better bring it, because Lamar's about to face a defense he hasn't faced this year. This front seven's going to be swarming. We're going to be ready. And if you think Wink is not foaming at the mouth this week to come at his ex-Ravens team, and nobody knows Jackson in that offense like Wink. We don't got 2 starting corners. I don't know how long Adoree Jackson's going to be out. He was having a real big-time year. But, yo, this team don't care, because the kid's mentality is, I'm up next, and I'm going to show you. I'm so proud of this team, and I want to continue to be the underdog. We're -6 this week. I love it. Keep disrespecting this team. Keep giving this team fire. You're not stopping fucking Barkley. You can shut him for 2 quarters, but sooner or later, he's going to break that 70-yard run, and it's going to open up the football game. And teams in the league don't know what to do with Daniel Jones. It's scary. The Packers didn't have a fucking clue. Not an answer. Once Jones decided, screwed his ankle. Every time the middle opens up, I'm taking off. They didn't know what to do anymore. And they had no answers for Barkley. And all of a sudden, they have no answers for street receivers. Guys from UPS and Wall Bounce. Yo. And hats off to fucking Slayton, man. What a game. I knew he had it in him, and he fucking proved it. And now you could sit there and start all year, because I make the case he's our best wide receiver. Galladay could stay on the bench and give Slayton his starting job. I don't care if you make $500 million. I want the guys that are going to bust their ass, just like Dabo said. Everything Dabo says is working. Yo, next week the Ravens come to town. Bring it. Bring it. The Giants are ready for these tests. This is a young team on the rise. We're in the NFC East. It's the best division in football. The Eagles and Cowboys are killing it. But we're hanging around right there with them. Play the season out. Let's see what happens. But I gotta say, man, this team make me so proud. They're giving us a hell of a season. They're better than just hanging around. The Giants are better than that. You go into this game this week, now you expect to win. We haven't had that feeling in years. And Daniel Jones, bro. The more hate Daniel Jones gets, the more he turns shit up. The guy's throwing balls on the run, they're dead accurate. The man doesn't make turnovers. The man knows how to leave the pocket. And God forbid you leave this guy a hole. He's gonna speed right through it. Like a giant mouse. Yo. The Giants are 4-1. I'm not getting deep into the little things. I'm riding it. We got a big-time game with the Ravens Sunday. It's in our house. This fan base is going to show up. This place is going to rock. And the Ravens defense, not exactly the Raven defense of old. I think we're going to have a war. I think it's going to be a low-scoring, physical, very physical football game between 2 teams that have pride. It's going to be a great game. The Giants took the Packers, and I told you if the Giants stole one of these next 2 games, the Giants are for real, and I start taking them seriously. The Giants beat the Packers, and now the Giants are serious. For the first time in years, I go into games thinking we're going to win, and there's no reason why the Giants can't take the Ravens game at home next week. Grind out an ugly football game, which is exactly how the Giants like to win football right now. And let the defense do what it do. We talk about these games later in the week. The Giants are 4-1. And I tip my hat to the Blue Crew. They was calling this. Now, I know they're a confident group, but that's good. I wear my Giants heart on my sleeve. Everybody knows that. I'm so excited. And you should be too. And let the people hate, and let the analysts not believe yet. Because the more they don't believe, the more they hate, the more driven this young Giants team is. And you're about to get a Collins at linebacker, Leo next to Dexter. Dexter, who might be the best defensive tackle in football this year right now. If not among top 2. All right? And you're about to get Leo the Savage back. Collins next to Jalen Smith, who's been balling out. And we got to find ourselves one of these young corners to step up. And they did so yesterday in the 4th quarter, big time. Hopefully Adoree ain't out for a long period of time. Well, Robinson's going to be out for the year. So we need Adoree to get back. Next to Ravens and then Jacksonville. I say go get a split. But right now, who am I to say the Giants can't win both? The Giants are not coming anymore. The New York Football Giants have arrived. And the best part of it, it irks a lot of people. And I'm going to tip a hat to the team across the city, the Jets. The New York Jets with a big-time win. They got young talent, and they put up a 40 spot on Miami. And Miami Dolphins are in deep shit because they don't have a quarterback. And their season's on the verge of going down a toilet bowl. And the Jets in New England will fight for second place wild card in that division if Miami doesn't get Tua back. When you all know the Bills are top of the NFL. But respect to the Jets for a big win. They've put 2 in a row together. All right, they're on the other side of their record. They're on a winning record. And there's no reason the Jets can't give you a season into late December this year also. They got young talent. They got a good young quarterback. And I'm thinking the coaching staff is going to find its way. And the guy I was wrong on, Lawson, balled out yesterday. So I tip a hat when it's deserved, and the Jets get it. And one more thing, man. You know me. I'm a shitty guy. I like to toot my horn, right? Check it out. I told everybody about Micah Parsons a year before that draft. Way before even most of these analysts even know who the guy was. All I heard was Parsons cannot rush off the edge. Bullshit. I told people this guy was a modern-day Lawrence Taylor. And I don't say it to bother my own fan base because I know we don't like anybody to be compared to number 56. That's the GOAT. But Micah Parsons is the closest thing to Lawrence Taylor. And you're just seeing the tip of it. This guy, you can argue, is the best defensive player in the NFL right now, and it's not even close. I know some people like Aaron Donald, but I'll take the beast off the edge. And when you watch him stand up off the edge and the way he moves his body and bends, his athletic ability, you go back and look at Lawrence Taylor and you're telling me this guy's not a mirror image. Yes, he's a Cowboy and we hate that shit. He was supposed to be a New York Football Giant. And that takes me into another thing. Gettleman. All you fucking losers, haters of Gettleman out there. The guy got old. You don't like that old school. And don't think a lot of it is in politics. We didn't have any coaches here. Take a look at the players Gettleman's given this organization. Andrew Thomas, Barkley, Jones, Dexter Lawrence. He traded for Leo. How's that looking right now? Huh? Xavier McKinney. Did he not go out and get Adoree Jackson? Hey! Stand up and give a man fucking respect. Because all you guys hated on Gettleman. He was the punching bag for John Mara's mistakes. You chased him out. And I'm not saying I don't love this regime and this GM. We got the perfect guys for the future. But yo, stand up and say it. Don't hide behind your words, because you are all fucking wrong, especially the young fan base that listens to anything the stupid media and ESPN will tell you. Stop listening to Max Gettleman. David Gettleman gave you talent. And David Gettleman was on his way to the podium to draft Micah Parsons. And I know the trade back got us Evan Neal and Thibs. I get it. But Micah Parsons on this defense right now, and we would be a Super Bowl contender on defense alone. Yo, I just want people to say they were wrong. I stood by Gettleman all these years. I knew what the guy was doing. He's been in the league 39 years as one of the best scouts in the league. That guy scouts talent. That's what he does. And he never drafts wide receivers, and he never pays wide receivers, all right? And Odell had to go because we were in a rebuild, and Odell wasn't going to sit quietly for the next 3 years. So stop your bullshit love affair with Odell. He had to go because we were rebuilding. Gettleman has loaded this team with young talent. Say it ain't so. And I want to just mention his name because that guy took a lot of unfair hate. That guy was a human punching bag for a lot of the mistakes Mara did. Kept Eli too long. Forced him to draft a quarterback because he kept Eli too long. Wanted Micah Parsons, but Mara said no. Judge is going to be the coach for a long time. Let him draft his apples because he's from Belichick. He ain't from Belichick's ass. All right? So he allowed Judge he wanted Devontae Smith. The Eagles hopped us and took him. So he traded back with eyes on Tony. That's not even the guy I would have drafted at 20. I would have drafted Kwity Paye. But you know what? Gettleman wanted Parsons, and he was held back because he knew it was his final year, and Judge was the future. And Judge ain't the future of shit. That guy only set us backwards. When you look at all the talent that's balling out at the top of the league right now, Andrew Thomas, best tackle in football. Dexter Lawrence, among the top 3 defensive tackles in the NFL rated top 3. Leo Williams he brought here, and Xavier McKinney's a beast. Huh? Barkley is the MVP of the league. Outside of probably Hurts. How it's looking now, guys. Even Jones is maturing fast. How's it looking when you gave these guys a real coaching staff and they were able to coach them up, develop players, something we haven't done in years? Is that Gettleman's fault? Yo, Gettleman took a lot of hate here. And I'm going to end it like this. I'm going to tip a cap to Gettleman, and I've always knew who he was. That guy's built this young team, a huge part of it. All the players you're all loving, David Gettleman. And one player that we could have used that's savaging the NFL right now, destroying the NFL, Micah Parsons. Gettleman was walking up to the podium, and that guy would have been a New York football giant. He ain't. It's okay. We're doing good, and we're heading in a great direction. But yo, swallow your pride and admit, looking back right now, Gettleman has done some pretty big things here. Yo, that's the bottom line. I'm the Miz.